Despite previously being adamant it wasn't a reason for going to war in Iraq, the federal government now says oil is one of the reasons Australian troops are staying there. Launching the government's latest defence update, the Prime Minister says energy security, including oil, is something Australians need to think about when considering the consequences of a premature withdrawal from Iraq.
First, it was about weapons of mass destruction. Then it was terrorism. Now, oil has become a reason for the war in Iraq.
Obviously, the Middle East itself, not only Iraq, but the entire region, is an important supplier of energy, oil in particular.
Today, the Prime Minister launched Australia's latest defence update, and securing oil supplies from the trouble region is highlighted as justification for staying the course.
Many of the key strategic trends I have mentioned, including terrorism and extremism, challenging demographics, WMD aspirations, energy demand and great power competition converge in the Middle East.
It wasn't always the way.
Prime Minister, has oil got anything to do with this conflict?
No, I don't believe for a moment it has.
I think Mr Howard makes it up as he goes along on Iraq. When Mr Howard was asked back in 2003 whether this war had anything to do with oil, Mr Howard said, in no way did this war have anything to do with oil.
The entry of oil into the argument has Labor redoubling its calls for an exit strategy. But the government is adamant there will be no timetabled withdrawal.
The Australian Labor Party is out of step with what is right and necessary to do in Iraq.
In a further sharpening of differences on foreign policy, Kevin Rudd has released his own blueprint, with a focus fixed firmly on the Pacific.
Unless we embrace a new strategic approach, the reality is that the long-term drift in Australia's national security interests in the Southwest Pacific will only get worse.
Mr Rudd wants aid to the Pacific almost doubled to 0.5% of GDP.
Unless we attend to the long-term human capital development of regional states, we will face insurmountable problems across the rest of the development and security agenda.
The government set a course to double aid spending by 2010, but that would still be short of Kevin Rudd's target. Connor Duffy, ABC News, Canberra.